Etihad, what do we need to do to win this game? So I'm with Jerry Z, also with Eddie. On the chat we have Coachella. I hope you're good, Coachella. Eddie, how are you, my brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, Tobago. Yeah.
Uh, are you ready for the game tomorrow?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has to be played, so we can't run away from it. So we're ready.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Jerry, how are you?
I'm good, Tobeho. Thank you so much for having me. Wonderful to enjoy the streams and the optimism in a beautiful community that you have created. Thank you, Coachella, for tuning in. What a week we have. What a week. This is the time when we feel the blue, that we are here, we are destined to win. Positive, negative, potch in, potch out, everyone. This is the time when come you feel that there's something we have to build, we have to try, and we have to grab the opportunity to take us to the next level.
Yeah. I love that. I love that from
Finally,
Jerry Z.
finally, we have Mauricio Pochettino himself on the chat again. Welcome, Mauricio Pochettino. I know you got the magic tomorrow to win the game. So, Eddie, to you, my man, what do you need to do in order to win the game tomorrow?
We just need to be 100, if it's possible, 150% full concentration. We can't afford to give them time at all. Just press, press, press. Take our chances when we have them. We're not going to have too many chances, but we have to be clinical. We can't afford to lose chances against Man City. You know, and being away from home, we need to the few chances that we have, we need to be clinical. That's just the main thing, and then we need to be fully focused.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. Also, let's hear to Mauricio Pochettino saying we need to score one goal more than them. I agree. I think we need to score 5 goals tomorrow. How about that, Mauricio Pochettino? Please give us the tip, give us the lineup for tomorrow's game. That'll be helpful. Jerry, to you, what do we need to do to win this game tomorrow?
Very difficult question, to be very honest. I don't think so that even Pochettino or the board or even experts in the press, in the journals, ex-players, Terry, even Gary Neville's of this world, Mourinho, they don't know right now what we need to do, because this is difficult. This is not as easy as anyone just come up and say that we have to do this. Because if you see and be very honest with ourselves, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but if we are very honest with ourselves, look at their lineup. They are one of the best teams, right? Probably the best team in the last at least 5 years collectively, right? Playing under the same manager, perhaps the best manager of all time, along with the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson. So look at pound to pound the players: Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Rodri, De Bruyne, Alvarez, who I think is a great, unbelievable technical player who is playing in the shadows of Haaland, Foden, who is coming to his potential, Haaland, and compared with all due respect to our team, who has the potential, and we can, some of the players can be compared pound to pound, but collectively there is a void, right? So if you understand where I'm coming from, so to win, because it's a one-off game, anything can happen. City has lost to Wolves. They have lost another games. So who knows? But this style of City, Liverpool in general, forget the 4-1 crashing. That was a bad day at the office. Usually suit us. And I think probably most of us agree, because when we play teams that are coming and attacking us, it plays to our strength, plays to the 4-3-1 of Pochettino. But at the same time, we have to be very careful, right? Because the thrashing we suffered against Liverpool, it can also go the other way. So of course we have to be intense, as the Edison said so beautifully. We have to be intense. I think it has to do more than tactics. It's a mental game, right? As we were ready in our home games against Arsenal, which we should have won 3-0, It was a 2-2 draw. City, I think we should have won that game as well. But we are playing away. Good thing is that finally, because if we see the whole season, the away form is horrendous. But finally, we defeated Aston Villa, we defeated Crystal Palace. So at least we have some confidence going playing away from home. And who knows? I think it has to do with the mental aspect. And as far as the tactics are concerned, what I have analyzed, not only the 4-4 which we had in the first game, because it's Mauricio Pochettino's Chelsea, we go back and see PSG because I have seen the 4 times they played in when he was at PSG, and Tottenham, the last 2-3 seasons that I followed Tottenham, Man City. So it's more or less the same style. So I never saw Pochettino sit back. Yes, there were times, and there might be times in tomorrow's games, the way they will attack, that we would be defending deep at times, but usually it's an end-to-end football. The way we saw in the first game of the season when we played at home, similar PSG City games, 4 of them when Pochettino was at PSG, Tottenham, uh, Man City. So it was a very attacking end-to-end product, and where Pochettino has defeated Guardiola 4 times, and every time he took the opportunity and hit them on the counter when they tried to press, when they tried to come forward. He used the pace generally in Tottenham of Son and Kane and Dele Alli at that time. Similarly with Kylian Mbappe on the left, he was very instrumental, and as you can see the first game. So I'm sure that some people are thinking it will be defensive. I disagree. I will be surprised because Pochettino has not done that, and I think so it will backfire if we go and defend. Then they will have better chance. So again, on paper it's a tall task playing against the best team right now in the world. Some might argue it's Liverpool or Arsenal, so who knows. um, uh, Again, small details will matter, like if how he will navigate Haaland and Alvarez attack, Rodri in the midfield. So there are many ways that they can go about it. But generally speaking, it will be about intensity, taking our chances, doing the basic right than anything. We don't have to do anything extravagant. Keep the ball as much as we can, hit them on the counter, and all these things. I'm sure if we whatever the result will be, if we go and analyze, we will always see which team made the least amount of mistakes will come out victorious. And I'm sure we have the momentum. Only if we are able to convert this momentum, take it forward, it will be great if we can win. I'll be happy with a draw. Not that I'm want a draw, because I always want to win, but I'll be happy with the draw considering we have a huge final next week. So I don't want a loss or something that will deteriorate our confidence or have question marks. So, but if we win, it will be great. So let's see what happens. But I believe this is an opportunity for this young team and Pochettino especially, City game and Liverpool game, to prove to everyone, to me and to people who support him, that he really belongs at the upper tier, because we can always come up with excuses. Even if you're an underdog, great coaches go relish the moment and establish and stamp their authority. So it's Pochettino's time to show it, right? Or we will always say that he was not there. So we'll figure it out very soon, because as I said, he has to do it. I know we have injuries, a new squad, and all these things, and they are true. But a manager who is elite, who really wants to be there and whose credentials are there, always fight against the odds. That's all I want to say.
Thank you, Jersey. I just want to add to that. I think what we need tomorrow is avoid giving away sloppy goals or those individual errors that we've been making against likes of Wolves and Liverpool. So we should avoid that. But I just wanted to address something. Since we've all watched the press conference, Mauricio Pochettino said tomorrow Thiago Silva is not available. So Are you concerned that Thiago Silva won't be available for tomorrow's game? Eddie?
Yeah. Um. Well, it could be. Yeah. Very concerned because he's an experienced player. You know, we need his experience, even from the bench, even if he's not starting. If he sits on the bench, there, it gives a lot of confidence to the boys playing. You know, the way he's always been a confident man. I mean, it's towards the end of his career now, and then you can see the experience he brings to the team and gives a lot of confidence. So it's a little bit of disappointment that he's not going to be there at all. But at the same time, him not playing, because I feel Thiago Silva has played his best game for Chelsea playing the back three rather than the back four. So with the pace, with the style that Man City plays, it would have been very good for us to marshal that defense, even though it's going to be a back four for us tomorrow. His experience would have been great. But I mean, we have Colwill and Disasi. Those are the two centre backs that we have available for the game tomorrow. So we have to make do with what we have. We need that Aston Villa performance to be replicated tomorrow. The performance against Aston Villa is what we need, not the Liverpool performance, where we were like clinical against Aston Villa, took our chances early. That's the same performance we have to bring, because after this game, it's going to be huge weeks coming ahead, especially the next week now. It's going to be Liverpool, the final of the Carabao Cup. So he needs to really build on this. We cannot afford to lose tomorrow, to be honest. Draw will be good, not bad. It depends on the nature of the draw. But if we can win tomorrow, all well and good. But to be honest, I'm not holding my breath for a win tomorrow. But I would love it if we can, and that will be down to us taking our chances. Because as I said, City will create chances. We all know that they will create chances. So it depends on what chances we have and the ones we take that will really determine for us. So Thiago Silva not being there is a disappointment, but I think we can cope. We can cope. Hopefully, Colwill does not pull. I mean, his injury is behind him now, and then we have that back four set for the game. And then the midfield is crucial as well. The game will be won in midfield. So Caicedo and Enzo, they have to be really, and Gallagher has to talk in properly and then make it solid. We can't afford to concede early. Even if we want to concede, we should make it very tight. Not the game slip away from us and us chasing it. It will be hard away from home and not at the Etihad.
I agree with you, Eddie. Our midfield tomorrow should be solid. Enzo should be disciplined. Also, Kanagalaga, since they like to go forward and press, those kind of things. I think tomorrow they need to be solid. They need to shield our defense. Remember, defense is the only way to win games. Also, the engine of the team, which is the midfield, need to be solid. And then also, I just want to say something. I don't want a heavy defeat tomorrow. 6-0, 5-0, 4-0. I don't want that. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. This fan base will go crazy if we lose 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, especially since we are playing Liverpool on the weekend. So it won't be helpful. I think the boys should go for a win tomorrow, give their best, and the fans will support that no matter what will happen. But a heavy defeat won't help us. Mm, Jerry, to you, man. Do you think Ramsdale should start tomorrow?
It's a very interesting question. So many variables to look at it, like, because if we go with the form and like seeing that how good Nicholas Jackson as of late is playing as left wing, which is his natural position, to be very honest. I don't think so that Sterling should start, because as you have seen throughout the season, we have talked that he's been so inconsistent. That is a big problem, and a challenge and a barrier, right? 10 games, 3 outstanding performances, and 7 absolutely average, below average performances. So we don't know if Sterling will start. With Sterling, I'm talking that he should not start, and he can start and can get the man of the match. Who knows? So that's why I'm saying it's very technical. It depends on the situation why Pochettino didn't play him recently. Is it because of the form? Is it because he wanted to rest him? Is it because he wanted to try something different with it, Nkunku coming back, Jackson? playing in a different position. So if we have all this information, then we can be clear. Personally, if you speak, it's technical, as I said, because he will be playing against City. And the last time we won, sorry, we drew 4-4. He was the man of the match, if I'm not wrong, and he was outstanding. Perhaps one of the best performances I have seen of Sterling, if I'm correctly recalling that game. So if I look that game, 4-4, Sterling was absolutely outstanding. He was taking on Walker as Walker never played football, right? So that is why it's close. So if I have to make a choice, I will honestly have to think for 6 hours before I decide if I should play Sterling or not. It's close, as I gave my reasons to you guys. So, so it will be either Sterling or Jackson, and yeah. So I don't know, to be very honest. I don't know because, as I said, he gets motivated when he plays against former teams, and he is an asset when he's on form. But if we have Nico Jackson, we will have a player who will drop deep, link with the midfield, will add a lot of quality to the overall game, which Sterling most of the time lacks. So uh, I don't know. Perhaps I will play Jackson, but I won't mind Sterling starting because of the reason I mentioned.
Yeah, I agree with you. Also, thank you, Dante. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're good, my friend. People, if you're new, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. That'll be helpful. And also, Dante say, Marsha Pochino's son is here. I know Jerry's talking to you, right? But overall, guys, what's your score prediction? Jerry?
I think a 2-2 draw.
Eddie? Back to
Um,
you.
I think let me just go. Let's go with Jerry. I don't want to think, but it's going to be a high score draw. Say 2-2, 3-3, thereabout. But it's definitely going to be more than one goal each on both sides. So I hope we just stay in the game and get a draw. That's all I need. Even 0-0, I'll take as it stands now. But it's not going to be a 0-0 game. Never would that be a 0-0 game. So it's going to be a score draw, hopefully. Or we might nick it, luckily.
Man, it's gonna be harsh tomorrow. But anyway, since Chelsea's playing, I'll have to watch the game. Might be difficult for us because you know when Manchester City is on form, they're gonna hit you so bad. Dante saying 3-1 City, but I prefer 10-1. You know why?
You see, one thing I always sorry, and one thing I always notice is when we are underdogs going to games, it's always good for us. Because even going to the Aston Villa game, nobody gave us a chance. Even myself, I never thought we were going to get anything. So it's good sometimes when most fans always pessimistic, you know. So when we go in there, there's no pressure. So it's now down to the players to now prove where most fans wrong. Because I think if we go into this game thinking, oh, City is going to steamroll us, because let's be careful. City, they've not been too brilliant this season. Rather than Haaland just bailing them out sometimes, and then they have De Bruyne back, which is the key for them. But other than that, they've not been that spectacular, if you know what I mean. It's not the City of old, when they used to have the likes of Mahrez and all. No, they like the wings now are not like as sharp. It's only Doku now that is giving them that width, you know. And Grealish is out injured. So you see the likes of Alvarez trying to talk in. They all talking. So if we can play well and hit them on the counter, that's why I was thinking Noni would have been very good for this game. But because of his bad performance against Crystal Palace, he's most likely not going to start. But I would have loved Noni to play on the right side, and then we play the Palmer, as the first nine. And I think they work very well. And then Nicola Jackson maybe on the left. But I don't think he's going to start Noni. That's just it. But this is the type of game that suits Noni, because City is not going to sit back. They're going to attack us. So we have a lot of space to run behind them.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's gonna be a tough game, but also if we have a solid game plan, I think we might nick it. And also Dante on the chat says City have recovered after a bad patch. Yes, I agree with
We,
you.
we, we,
Al-
we have recovered slash recovering also, I believe.
Yeah, I think our way form is better now, but at the same time, is a test for us against Manchester City tomorrow. Hopefully, we showcase what we can do. Also, big up to Chelsea forever. I hope you're good, my friend. Guys on the chat, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Jerry, I want to ask you this question. Oh, let me add it. Okay. Jerry, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm
Okay.
here.
I just want to ask you this question, right? Do you think the Manchester City game will help us in order to win the final against
Yeah,
Liverpool?
again, like a very interesting question. As easy as it may sound, I think it's a technical question. Actually, I was talking to a friend who is a Barcelona fan. I was just telling him that we are playing. I was just telling him that Chelsea will play City, updating him because he doesn't follow Chelsea. Will play City this weekend and then have a cup final against Liverpool. And I like what he said. He said that this is the worst time you are playing City. I said, why? I said, in this aspect, that if you win, you will have a false narrative or false, the players will get this feeling that we are good enough. I'm just saying what he said. It's interesting, and they might be confident or go in a way that might not be that prepared against Liverpool. So win will be could still be tricky going into the final with Liverpool. And if we lose, we'll lose the confidence and the momentum. So I said that's a great point. So I would take a draw then, right? So back to your question. Personally, because I have like covered football for 18 years, not as long as other people have, but I think 18 years is a good sample size to say that generally speaking, these instances or games before a final usually does not matter. You can still lose and you can come up and win the final. I It's English Premier League, La Liga, Bundesliga. We can go back in history. But as my father usually say, whenever I come up with this narrative, he says no, but he's old school, and I think his idea would apply well over here. He said no, but always a win is better than any other thing. A momentum, a win, progress is better. So always go for that. So I'm sure it will help a lot. There is no doubt about that, because especially this young team needs more confidence, right? Before going into the final, Pochettino needs more confidence with right and assurance. So especially with the 4-1 thrashing we had against Liverpool. So personally, I believe it should really help them. Yes.
Just want to answer this question. Chelsea forever say, what is my preferred lineup? I think Petrovic, Ben Chilwell, Malo Gusto, Levi Colwell, Disasi, Enzo Ifka said in the midfielder, Conor Gallagher, Raheem Sterling, Cole Palmer, and Christopher Nkunku. This is my lineup. And also, Dante said this, we have a counter-attack squad, but haven't really seen it. I agree with him. We have we have counter-attack players, but we haven't seen them do much. Even against, I think it was Aston Villa, we had so many good counter-attacks, but unfortunately, we couldn't score them. He says Sterling, wow. I think I think Poch will play Sterling. That's why I'm putting him on the lineup. Because remember, as Jerry said, Sterling was good versus Kyle Walker against City at the Stamford Bridge. So likely Sterling might play this game. Also, as a former City player, might try to prove a point. So it's possible that Sterling will start this game. Okay, Dante is saying if Poch learn anything from previous Liverpool game, then we can win. But he showed he didn't in setup. Well, it's Poch against Pep, right? So anything is possible. Remember, Pochettino team was the one who knocked out Manchester City in the Champions League semi-final, if I'm correct. So Eddie, to you,
Yeah,
do you think?
it was a quarterfinal, but yes, it's correct that they knocked them out.
Oh, thank you, Jerry. So Eddie, to you, do you think the Manchester City game is important to build up for the Carabao final?
Oh yeah, definitely. Very, very important. That's why we said earlier that we cannot afford to lose. Because if we don't win or we don't get a draw, that would not be too good. And I agree to some extent to what Jerry Z was saying about his friend Barcelona fan that was saying, if we beat City, we might go into the final being overconfident, kind of thinking, oh, we beat City, we can as well go and do that against Liverpool. And I hope and pray that Poch doesn't um, lay much emphasis on the final and then not play the best. Even though we have depleted squad, so he doesn't have a pool of players to choose from. So just not to be thinking of him the pressure of winning a trophy to say, oh, I think the next week's game is more important than the City game. I just hope he doesn't think that way, thinking, oh, I need to rest some players just to play against Liverpool in the final, just to at least say he's won a trophy in England. So he needs to go into this game just as normal, thinking that the 3 points, or even if it's 1 point, is crucial for the season. And he knows the position where we are is not a good position for him, and he knows he's under pressure as well. So he needs to build on the victory against Crystal Palace and keep going. We can't afford to go back to what happened against Wolves and Liverpool. So we should just forget about that, and he needs to build, at least try to win or get a draw, give good performance. Even if he draws, let the performance be very good. That will give that confidence going into the final. But if we see that stinker, like the one we saw against Liverpool, or the one against Wolves to some extent, or even the first half against Crystal Palace, that's not good for us. That's not good for us. No matter what we think about Liverpool in that final, we've lost the last season we lost two finals to Liverpool. So, so we need to really be on top of our game and try to do very well tomorrow so that Liverpool too will see, just as Pep was saying in the press conference, that Chelsea, they are playing very well. They are doing this. I know he's just trying to just hype everything up anyway. So he won't come out and say we're not a good side. He knows we're a good side, but it depends on the Chelsea that comes tomorrow. You don't know which Chelsea. We know what Man City is going to bring to the table, but the Chelsea that will appear tomorrow, that's what we don't know.
I agree with you, Teskaji. Before I come to you, let me check what the chats are saying. Chelsea forever say Poch need to give them. I think needs to give them to be having a gun contest. I think was trying to say that. Also, Dante saying, I don't mind Sterling. Okay, let me just check this. I don't mind starting Sterling after being finally officially dropped, so he can show proving. If it's not, then sub him off after the 30 minutes. Sorry about it, guys. I think my network is slow now. Okay. So yeah, Tosca G, welcome. How are you? Tosca G? Can you guys hear me? We
Yes,
have Tosca G.
yes, we can hear you.
How are you, Jetka G? Tosca G. I think his network is not good.
Is he Mr. T?
No, it's Tosca G. So I wanted to hear his thoughts about the game tomorrow. If he's there, he can hear us.
Founder of Poch Out.
Yes, exactly.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Hello, big up, bro. We can hear you, but I don't know if we will be able to. Sorry, if we will be able to hear you after 25th of February.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, yeah, guys. My thoughts about the game. We're facing Liverpool. Is it Liverpool or Manchester City? I'm confused. What are we playing?
Manchester City, but I'm still disappointed that you're a Chelsea fan. You don't know what are we playing tomorrow. Which team are we playing? Come on, that's good.
You know that
Sorry to cut, but he's just focused on Poch out, so he don't even know the fixtures, right? So you see, the bias is so huge. All love, bro, all love. The bias is so huge that he's just scared that Poch is out, right? So he don't even remember the fixture.
That's true. So, you know what? I'm hoping, as much as what my friend here just said, he's spot on. You know, he's absolutely 100% correct. The blue board analysis, you're 100% correct. What I'm looking for and what I'm hoping for is that Manchester City give us a beat down. Like they beat us, they should beat us like we stole something. They should give us a hard thrashing. And we can get this guy out of the club, guys. Like it's so sad to see a team that has spent a billion not perform like this. Like, guys, I'm not sure how you guys feel, but these guys actually performing worse, like they were performing better under Potter, and now Poch is like a downgrade. So I'm actually hoping if they can do a 6-0 or a 6-1 at least, with a Mudrik goal, if he's available. Yes, 10-1. Yes, you see? I got a supporter over here. Thanks, man. Okay, guys, but in short, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm hoping for a thrashing because I don't want to see this guy ruining these players' lives anymore. He has been causing unspeakable amount of trauma and wasting the time that these players could have been developing. You know, and we can see by Palmer, look how he plays. It's Manchester City product. It's not because Potter or Poch did something wild. He didn't do anything. It's only the works, like we're feeding off Guardiola right now. Guardiola scraps. That's what we are eating as Chelsea fans, and we're going wild for that. And I'm just saying, as us Chelsea fans, we deserve better. We deserve an actual competent manager, somebody who can actually improve players if he's improving, and who has got the guts to say no to the leadership. If they want to bring in more kindergarten players, we should have a manager that can say no. He wants 1, 2, 3, 4, like Antonio Conte. He said that he never got the players he asked for live and direct in the conference room, and that's when a lot of people turned against Marina Granovskia and whatever, that amazing director we had. Everybody turned against it because they didn't get what was happening, and the manager was very truthful. So we don't need a yes man. We just need somebody who just has the balls, the courage, and the truth, just to say that, listen, this is what I want and this is what I need. Because I feel like Pochettino just says yes to everything. Oh, this, be patient. This is Chelsea. It'll take a very long time to change the culture of any club or company. Am I right, Blue Board Analysis? I'm right? It takes a very long time. We can't just up and end things or up and, switch like a car part. It takes a very long time because these are people, they've got emotions, they've got a certain way of doing things. It's going to take time to adjust. We understand that. But the manner that this ownership has gone at it is questionable. It's very questionable. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on this game.
So in order for the coach to be sacked, we need to be thrashed by Manchester City. Come on, man. Let's try to be positive, please. So Eddie,
No.
what is your take?
The coolest chance. Listen, bro. There is
my
there
own
is
my own take
there
is,
is a there is a saying it says you, in order to save the rainforest, you have to kill a few elephants. If one of those elephants is Pochettino, then let's go for him. Let's go for him. No one is bigger than the club, guys. No one is bigger than the club. Let's go for this guy. He's not bigger than the club. He has not been a Chelsea fan all his life. So what are we getting from him? If we can sack Lampard, who's Pochettino? Thank you.
So sorry, Eddie, you can go on. I just need some more coffee, I guess, after this.
Yeah, I think I need a call. I need one myself because listening to him, I mean, we have to. I know most people might say Poch out, but we cannot really be advocating and preaching that our club, the club, gets hammered just to make sure we drive home our point, like getting Poch out. There are ways of trying to get him out, but not at the detriment of the football club as a whole. Trying to say we have to be trashed. I mean, if we get trashed, the morale will be low. And at the end of the day, if we look at the points different, who says if we keep getting, because we want Poch out and we keep dropping points, who says we cannot be dragged into that relegation battle at the end of the day? It's all down to confidence. So we might say Poch out, agreed. I mean, I was Poch in from the get-go, but from the performances and some stubbornness that I've seen him exhibiting. But if we look at the report coming out today, like is it Tash Hag or what's it called? The lad that spoke earlier.
Mr. G.
Tasker G, okay. He said Poch is a yes man. He said Poch is a yes man. But if we listen to report coming out today now, it might be turning the other way now because he's trying to tell them he doesn't need potentials anymore. He needs experience. So he might be having and he didn't want. It was from the report we had that Broya. I think he didn't want Broya to leave without bringing a replacement, and he didn't want Gallagher to be sold or to even be put in the picture of being sold. So we can see that maybe he's speaking out as well, So, but he knows that he has a fight against the fans of Chelsea. But at the same time, I will not concur to that saying that we have to be trashed for us to make our points. To be honest, I'm not in for that. And that's my own opinion anyway. You are entitled to your opinion. So I will not agree to that because the psychological effect of Chelsea losing affects all true Chelsea fans. No matter the manager, even when Benitez was there, as much as we didn't even like Benitez, at the end of the day, we rallied around him when he won us the Europa Cup. So I feel we should put the club ahead of any other manager because Poch, we like it or not, one day Poch is going to leave, but Chelsea Football Club is going to remain forever.
Yeah, that's correct. So again, like as we are all in this community and everyone have their own opinion, so we cannot we can disagree, but of course everyone has a voice. So I would just like to ask in a positive way, just to get just to understand more, and where this segment of the fan base is, because Tubeho knows that I was try to understand the fan base who have given up on many things, owners, Pochettino. So if Mr. Tas is listening, I understand your frustration and of course you are unhappy, and I can understand that. But let's, hypothetically speaking, let's put it this way: if we win or draw tomorrow, win the cup again, beat Liverpool, win the cup, and the rest of the 2.5-3 months of the season are not better, but relatively better with much more consistency. Let's say we finish in the top 7-6, win Carabao Cup at least, and there is a real progress. So don't you think so? Based on that merit, we should give Pochettino time to continue into the final season if he achieved that.
That's a good question. And honestly, if he does achieve that, I would be saddened because I would have no basis. I would have no claim. I would have no foot to stand on to say Poch out or anything. And so my reason for saying Poch out is not only because of the results. I was seeing his work at Tottenham, and I followed it because of I have a rival friend, so I was following it that much closely. And believe it or not, what he did at Tottenham, he's actually replicating it at this club. So it's just been like a deja vu for me, But if he does achieve those goals, like what you said, I'll be disappointed. And the thing about I'll be most disappointed is that it forces me to have hope. Like hope will come, I'll be like, maybe he's the guy, maybe I'm wrong, and I give it a few games into the next season and my hope will be diminished again. But yeah, that's my take.
That's G. Oh man. But anyway, everyone is entitled for his opinion, so I won't crush your opinion. But hopefully, Mauricio Pochettino prove us all that he's here to win trophies. He's here to make us progress. Also, I know people will say that when we talk about injuries, it's excuses. But since start of the season until now, we're having almost 8, 10, 12 players out of injuries. So how can we be consistent? How can he build his strongest lineup and say that this is my strongest team? No matter I lose or win, this is my strongest team. But now we are struggling with injuries each and every time. Last week, I think we lost Thiago Silva. The following week was Penel Barishil. So clearly that we're struggling with injuries. So I think we need to give him time until end of the season. Also, it's too late for him to be sacked, right? Let's wait until end of the season, and then the club will review everything what happened, and then the club will decide whether to sack him or to give him another chance. Right, Jerry?
Yeah, I mean, look, if someone in this panel or the chat didn't know my opinion, I would, even though I'm defending Pochettino or backed him and still backing him, but I would go and get Hansi Flick. And of course, we can talk in detail again. I have explained in the previous shows that why I prefer him to be our manager. And basically, what he did at Bayern Munich and also as an assistant coach with Germany before this role. So, but the question is that at this time, like today is 16 February and it's 3 months to go. So I agree with you that if we want to make a change, then we should at least wait till summer. And that is not to give any pass to Pochettino or anything like that. It's just that usually this time is doesn't work out. You get an assistant coach or interim manager. In the summer, it's always the right time to get a bigger manager, starting with the preseason. So the time is so less to achieve anything substantial, like to win the Premier League or get in the top four, that I don't think so that this is the right time to change until and unless we, as Tas said, we lose 5-6-0 to City, 5-0 to Liverpool, then of course, like we have to make a change. So I think summer. And even on the other side, let's see what Pochettino and this team can do, because we have seen so many instances, games previously at home against City, against Liverpool, the first game of the season, against Arsenal, against Villa away, both games against Fulham. So it's like we have moments that were brilliant, to be very honest. At the same time, we had the worst performances. So let's wait and see unless it really gets bad. And in the summer, then we might also have more options. I'm just saying, such as who knows what is the status of Xabi Alonso. We will know that Nagelsmann will probably not continue. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that we are going for Nagelsmann or Alonso. I'm giving an example that we will have a larger pool to choose from, right? Because these Nagelsmann will be available, and Xabi Alonso maybe will also be up for it, although he preferred to go to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. But you see what I'm saying? So we will have a better framework, better options. So there is no need, in my opinion, to rush. Just wait till this end of the season and make a decision based on merit.
I'm sorry, Jerry Z. Why are you saying Nagelsmann will be available?
Nagelsmann's contract with Germany is up till this summer, till Euros, and then he will not continue. He just confirmed that recently.
Oh,
So
really?
he's available.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, sir. He's available until and unless something changes. He wins the Euro, or he would like to continue. But he said his contract is up till summer, and we all know it was an interim contract, and he has right now no desire to continue. So Nagelsmann will be available until
Oh,
unless he continue with Germany.
all right. Okay. Hmm.
Yes, I
Yes,
have a
I have
question.
a question.
The host, could you mute your mic? There's an echo. Okay, good. So you're speaking about injuries. Okay, now you're back. Okay, you're reconnecting. Oh, okay, let me just give him some time. All right. All right, you're back. I was saying you're speaking about injuries, and you're like, maybe we've got 8, 10 players injured, but we had a transfer window. I didn't see us getting any reinforcements. I mean, if injuries were really that critical in our squad, don't you think we would have got in some reinforcements? I mean, clearly that means that the management also thinks that we can cope with these injuries. Don't you think so?
To be honest, Jerry, I mean Taskachi, we can't add players into our problems, right? We can't add paraffin or petrol into the fire. We already have players out injuries. So if you add more players, we still have bigger squad which Mauricio Pochettino doesn't like. Even said it from start of the season, he likes a smaller squad. So why should we add more players into our problems? Also, there were some issues with the FFP staff. We need to buy players in order to sell players. So it's so tough. We can't just buy players for the sake of buying them. We need to have balance into our squad. Also, we need to give our new players game time in order for them to improve. So I think this is one of the reasons why we didn't buy players.
Okay, that's noted. I just want to answer one question from Chelsea Forever. He says, what players would you sign in the summer? Well, if I was a sporting director at this club, I would sign, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Is it Chow Hanolu? I'm not sure if you guys know him. He's a wonderful player. I mean, he can track back, and he's actually good at free kicks, like dead ball specialist. He's playing in Serie A, and I think he's playing for Inter Milan, if I'm not mistaken. Chao Hanolu. And the other one, although that he's a bit of an injury magnet, is Paulo Dybala. I just feel like he will add that bit of quality that we need. You know, he's got good goal scoring prowess. You know what I mean? And I feel like those two players could easily change a game. You know, set pieces suddenly will be looking dangerous, and even from open play with the addition of Paulo Dybala, his movement, just that alone, I don't think apart from Christopher Nkuku, we don't have any other player with Dybala's profile. Only Christopher Nkuku. Yeah, so it'd be good to actually get a like for like replacement, you know, direct replacement for him in case he does get injured. And he's a left footer. So yeah, those are the two players that I'd sign over the summer.
Jerry, there's a question for you. What do you think of Arnold Slot? Do you know the coach?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So I'm sure that this question would be related to Chelsea, of course, if you are asking. So it's like, should we consider him, and what do I think? So I mean, look, we have already analyzed for weeks the issues over here. The coach, it's difficult to, very difficult in my opinion, to identify that how this coach or how these coaches who are working, with all due respect, in Holland, Portugal, France, and other leagues in teams that are not so well established, how will they eventually do when they come to England? And I know many people say we don't really have to look into that, but because we have struggled, right? This is my opinion. Because we have really like struggled, that people want, maybe they are right, want us to lose 10-0. I'm just saying they're so frustrated. So why should we experiment, right? We have, in my opinion, ample of coaches, I would say, at least 3 to 4, 5 maybe, with Nagelsmann, Flicks, Zabi Alonso, and other managers. Someone can say Zabi is also new, but what he's doing at by Leverkusen is amazing, I would say, right? It's amazing. So I would go for one of these managers rather than would try, because we don't need any more trial and error stuff, right? Because we do have, I think, of good options, good coaches that are available. So I won't take any risk, right? I won't gamble anymore. So yeah, so the 3, 4 coaches that I mentioned, I would probably go with one of them.
There's an answer for you, Taska G. Only young, world-class players from now on. Taska G. We are not signing any more close to 30, under 25. Only that is the model now. What do you think about it?
Well,
Well,
my question or
my
my
question or
argument
my
is, did we not
not
win the Champions League after we signed Thiago Silva? Can somebody remind me? Didn't we not win that with a player who's like above 35, right? We did win a major trophy with him. And with him came stability at the back. With him, it came, a little bit more confidence in our defense. We were resolute, we were sound. Sometimes I don't think it's about the age. Sometimes it's all about the player profile and character. If you're bringing in a Messi at his age, um, who would you take right now, Messi or Ronaldo? And then you have to see, okay, fine, between these two, what character does my team need? Who's got a winning mentality, Messi or Ronaldo? You could arguably say Ronaldo has that fighting spirit. He can win a game all on his own, right? Whereas Messi, you need to play around him. He needs a good team. He needs pass to him, find him, link him up, this and that. No doubt that he does create chances, and the two players are different. But sometimes it's also about the mentality. Look, when we lost Antonio Rudiger, he was close to 30, but look at his mentality, look at his character. When we lost that, we lost almost everything. Let me be honest, because I'm not sure if you guys are always listening to Tuchel. Tuchel said Antonio Rudiger does such unselfish work. Like some things that he doesn't need to do as a center half, you can find him doing that. And normally when we're pressing up forward, Rudiger will also come pressing behind. And the good thing about him is that he had that recovery pace as well. You feel me? So it's like he wasn't at all exposing our team. Rather, he had everything needed to complement the way we play. So I would say that close to 30, as long as you have the right profile, you got the mindset that we need. Because we've got younger players, we actually need that more.
I have a question for Eddie. So Eddie, from now on until end of the season, what is your expectation for Chelsea football clubs ever since like you started watching us from the Liverpool game, first game until right now? So you have a picture on your mind where Chelsea might finish at the end of the season. So what is your expectation, Eddie?
Um, generally, our expectations as Chelsea fan would be to finish in the top four. That's the minimum expectation going into every season. But as it stands now, if we can put wins together and at least get into Europe, if it's the Europa League as it stands, that would be okay for us to get into Europe. That's why it's very important. And I'm not sure, does Carabao winning Carabao, or does he get into Europe? I'm not sure of that anymore. Yeah, I think so. So that's why again it's very important we win the Carabao Cup and then try and finish as high as we can the table, so that we can as well push together sixth position, or even if it's, and I mean fifth as well, gets you into Europe. But it's a tall order, it's a tall ask at this point to try and say we finish top five. But if we can try and win the end of the season, I mean, win as many games as we can, then that will be very good for us. But I just want to quickly talk about Tuskegee, because him talking about bringing in experienced players, we need some players. Is he not trying to make excuse why Pochettino should stay? Because if you're in one breath saying we need players 29, 28 to give experience to the club, and now you're not trying to give Pochettino any chance of having this young squad to build upon and develop them together, are you not trying in one breath to say the team is inexperienced, we need to bring in experienced players, and another time you want Pochettino out when we have about the youngest squad in the Premier League as it stands? So I don't understand. I got confused when you were explaining about bringing the likes of Dybala, bringing the likes of even Messi, talking of the likes of Ronaldo. So do you think we lack experience? That's why the performances have been like that. This for Tasker G.
Oh, that question is for me.
Yes, sir.
Eddie, sorry, I
Yes,
just
sir.
got back. Could you please just repeat the question? I just got back. I was out. Sorry.
Oh no, I was saying that based on what you were saying, I was listening to you when you were saying we should sign the likes of Diabala, bring in players with experience into the club. So I was saying that if you, which means you think we need experience for this team to perform better than what it is now. So does that not actually give room for Pochettino to say, okay, this team is young. That's why we have this kind of erratic performance, not kind of consistency in their performance. Do you not think because of the lack of experience? So do you think if we had more experienced players, probably Pochettino will be doing better than what he's doing now?
Yes, yes, that's a good question, and this is how I'm gonna answer it. Yeah, for me, Pochettino doesn't deserve any mercy. He doesn't deserve any, like, even, what can I say? Doubt. What do you call benefit of the doubt? He doesn't deserve anything of this, because this man has coached in the Premier League. He knows exactly what he needs to win. He knows the winning formula of teams, right? He coached Harry Kane. He coached at Tottenham. He saw the player profile. He saw the age group. And when he accepted that Chelsea job, he saw what was being presented to him. You see? And the main point is that he's a yes man. You know what you need. You know from the history, your experience, almost winning the league, or should I say bottling the league, what type of players he had. He knew all that. Like Pochettino came into the exam room with the answers on the answer sheet, and he didn't use them. They asked him the questions and he did not use the answers. So, how would you treat a person with Premier League experience who came close to winning the Champions League and the Premier League versus somebody else who's coming from the Bundesliga and who's winning you the Champions League in 6 months? Yeah, in that 6 months' time, he's winning you the Champions League, he's getting you a major trophy. And somebody who has been in the Premier League, you know, he has gone, neck to neck with the best of them, you know what I mean? Title races, both, domestic and international competitions. He has been there. He has had that experience. But why should he deserve Messi now? Yes, the team would do well with more experience, right? I do agree with you. But does Pochettino deserve that benefit of the doubt to say that, okay, he didn't have experience? No, 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 no. That would be an excuse. Pochettino knew what he was doing. He knew what he was signing for. He knew he was going to get the job before the season ended. He had a full preseason. He man said nothing. He came out here. He was having barbecues. He was having braais, having the time of his life. And what did we do? Starting seven defensive player against Bournemouth, fam. What did we do? We bottled it, fam, against Bournemouth. We had the easiest run of fixtures, even if the team was young or this or that. Even if I was going to come up with so many other reasons, the man knew, he had prior knowledge. He had a full preseason. Let me just say, Pochettino was in a better place, right, than Thomas Tuchel ever was in when Thomas Tuchel went on that winning run uh, to go on and win the Champions League. He was in a better position. So if he accepted to coach younger players, that means he thought that he was able to deal with it. That means the man went against his own instinct. Why is he speaking about this now? We gotta ask ourselves. And I want to ask you also, the blue. I think Teboho called you Jerry. I also want to ask you that why do you think he's speaking about this now? For me, it seems like it's all a PR stunt, public relations stunt, to save his image, to buy the club some time, this, that, and the third. But why is he speaking about this now? And such an experienced manager in Pochettino.
I think you made a great point. So good analysis, I would say. But again, when we analyze, I'm just saying. No, I'm not challenging your narrative. I like listening to you first time. I'm hearing you. It's great. Although you you are completely on the other side. Uh, First of all, if I'm not wrong, you can correct me. I think he has said that time to time on ample of even in the summer, in September, October, sometime in December, January. So every month or two, he has asked for experience, right? And I do agree that maybe his communication or delivery or what he's trying to establish is not good. I don't know what the PR team is doing. So the timings are sometimes wrong when the results are not good or stuff like that. So when people are already negative or the situation is not going well, so of course we see that he's coming up with excuses. So but I believe that in his defense, if you would like to say, that he has asked for experience time to time. And one last thing, I'm just saying this is another way to look at it. So this is just one thing, but a technical thing would be with what you said, although it's good, it holds a lot of weight. But in my opinion, when he signed for the Chelsea job, yes, you are correct. He knew all this framework, this structure, youth, this team, XYZ. But he didn't know. I'm just saying, in my opinion, he didn't know that Nkunku will not be available just up till recently. Most important player that was supposed to be. He didn't know that the best right back or one of the best right back in the world, Reece James, won't be available apart from 3, 4, 5 games that he has played. He didn't know about Chilwell. He will miss most of the games. Lavia will probably never be found anywhere, and many other injuries. So I'm just saying, I'm just giving a point that and all these other players' injuries with the newer squad actually, in my humble opinion, really didn't help. But we shouldn't be 10th. We should be then, of course, top four is like a huge ask. We should be at least 6th, 7th, I would say. With all of that, the you can say the reasons I mentioned that are, in my opinion, legitimate challenges for Pochettino, any manager with so many injuries in a new squad, he still should have done better, I would say. 6, 7, somewhere like that. So that is why next 3 months I would give him time and then decide on merit at the end of the season when we have Nagelsmann and every other maybe other managers available. Of course, I love Chelsea. I want the best for Chelsea. And I backed him, if you don't know, for his work that he has done with the younger squad of Tottenham. As you said yourself, he has been a runner-up in the Premier League, runner-up Champions League. Levy didn't spend for 3 windows. So I thought he can do much better over here with the investments, but it didn't work out. But again, you can look back at many games that have been outstanding, as I mentioned, and some games that have been dreadful. So it's so difficult to understand the issues. But let's see, probably this is his last opportunity. It's a merit-based business. If he can continue the momentum, win a cup, finish in the top six somehow, we are 7 points away from United in the top six. So, but I understand that we have, like, as I said, I want Flick. I always wanted Flick. I really rate him high. We have Nagelsmann available in the summer. Maybe Xabi Alonso. Some people are asking for Mourinho, although the statement that he gave today actually hurt me, to be very honest. Conte is still there. So we have great managers available. So, and only one manager manages the team. So we want the best. At the same time, I would really look and see what he can do from now onwards. Just his last opportunity, right? Let's see what happens.
So I know this topic won't end now, but I just want to ask Jerizia and Taskaji this. So Jerry, what are your expectations for this season from now until the rest of the season? Where would you like Chelsea to be at the end of the season? And also in the chance, let us know what are your expectations from now on until end of the season.
So you asked two questions. I'm just in a lighter mode. You asked two questions in the same question. You asked what is my expectation and where I would want Chelsea to be. So I want Chelsea to win the Premier League this season. This is what I want, but this is not possible, right? I want Chelsea to win the Premier League, Carabao Cup, and FA Cup, a treble. And I don't know if mathematically we can even win the Premier League or not. I think it probably is close to impossible, even if we win all the games. Top four is a huge ask, so I'm not going there, to be very honest. I think top six, if we can do that for this season with all these issues, finishing 12th last season. Again, I don't have to repeat, but everyone knows the issues here. We are 10th, always like 8th at best, 8th, ninth, 10th, sometime 11, 12. This is what it has been from the start, 8th to 12, some more or less, right? If we can push to 6th, at least we'll get Europa, which is not something to be really proud of, but something to feel, to be content with, I would say, to feel okay, there is a progress to how bad we have fallen from where we have fallen. And so of course conference league would hurt, I would say, immensely. Some people would take it, but it has to be Europa League, right? So this is my expectation. Why not? 7 points away from United. I believe 14 games remaining in the season. Why not? And 2 points away from top seven. So if Pochettino cannot climb that ladder, then there is no way that he should stay here. He should work hard, show some improvement, also the team, and see Brighton, West Ham, and Newcastle 1 to 2 points ahead of us. 1 to 2 points. So come on, there is no excuse. Man United is 7 points ahead of us, and they have been very inconsistent as well. So I mean, when you are at the job, you need to do something. 7 points away, you close that, you get that. Good, I would say, good, not great, but good. And of course win a cup, because this is a huge question, not from now, but from the last many years, that he didn't win anything. Of course, we can identify the issues he had Tottenham and still overperformed in many people's opinion, but he needs to win. He needs to win either the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. But might FA Cup might be a long shot away. Who knows? He'll be still here or not. So you see, so my expectation is still a top six finish in the league and at least a cup. So uh, Eddie, you can give your thoughts on the same question.
Um, oh yeah, I already spoke about it. Yeah, I already spoke about it about
Tasca G.
Okay. Tas, you can continue.
Okay. But I think Eddie, you can go. I mean, or maybe you guys don't want to end it on
No,
a
Eddie
bad
said,
note.
I remember, sorry, Eddie already gave the question was about your expectation, where should we finish, like a top six, top four, or where should, let's say, Poch finish to continue the job? What do you expect in the remaining 3 months of the season?
Okay. What I would want, my own wishes, I would want us to be in the top four, definitely. I want him to prove me wrong. I want him to prove my hashtag wrong, put me to shame. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, as Blue Board Analysis or Jerry said, that we are Chelsea fans, and Eddie said it, we are Chelsea fans. We don't want to lose. You know, we take pride in winning. We love our club, this, that, and the third. I feel that as much as the next fan, you know, and I would want that, you know, to be put to shame, to win W's, to beat Manchester City, beat all these guys. But I know that is not possible. It's not a possible thing. So I would be okay with maybe the fifth, fifth, not sixth, fifth. It has to be fifth, yes, because Pochettino has the experience. He knows, he has been here. It's not his first time in the Premier League. So I feel like the standard I should hold him to should be that much higher. And he also accepted the younger squad. So, you know, you make your bet. rely in it. And yeah, that's what I think. Fifth. I can't see us not getting fifth. How is it not possible? Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, said about it, guys. So I want to ask this last question and then we'll wrap it up. Eddie, what is your thoughts about PSG are trying to buy Victor Osimhen, who is a Chelsea number one target? So do you think like we're going to lose our number one target?
Um, well, we don't know what goes behind
Well,
the
we don't
scenes,
know
to
what
be
goes
honest.
behind the scenes, to be honest.
We don't know what goes behind the
We don't
scenes.
know
See,
what goes behind the scenes. So
If Osimhen, when he came out to say his
When he
mind
came
is
out to
made
say
up
his mind is
about
made up
where
Uh,
about
he will be
where
playing
Adele, can
next
you
season.
unmute because the voice I think is echoing? We can unmute.
Can you hear me? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
it's better
Please
now.
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if Osimhen, if some time ago, about a month ago or thereabout, he came out to say he's already made up his mind where we'll be playing next season, and PSG now coming out about this Mbappe news saying Mbappe is leaving in the summer, and they're going to get a replacement, a striker, and then Osimhen is being linked heavily. I mean, Osimhen has played before in the French league, so it's not a new experience for him, even though it's PSG, you know. So if he thinks he wants to play in the Premier League, it has to be either Chelsea, Arsenal, or Liverpool or Manchester United, wherever he wants to go. But if the deal has not been, if he's not gone far, and PSG comes into the picture and he feels he wants to play, but go back to play for, I mean, in France, then I think if they take him away from Chelsea, I don't know. There are other strikers there. To be honest, I mean, I watched Osimhen play in the AFCON. It was very good. He puts the efforts in, runs around and all. But for me, I think he does too much as a striker. It's not that. It's looking to me as if he's not that style of striker that I thought he was initially. Looking at him closely, because I don't watch him week in week. I was never. I mean, I never used to watch him week in week out. But now I watched him severally in the AFCON, and I think I don't know, maybe it's because of different setup for the Nigeria team. I mean, when you play for your national team is quite different from when you play for your club side. So I could be harsh. So I need to keep a close eye on him going into the rest of the season to see what style he plays for Napoli. But for me, I think if we miss out on Osimhen, it could be down to money. It could be down to us not being in the Champions League. It could be there might be factors that he will consider. But Drogba is doing a lot to see that he convinces him to play for us. But if at the end of the day we end up not getting Osimhen, it won't be the I won't be that disappointed because there are other strikers that we can actually look at, that will fit to the profile of what we think. And I think most importantly, if Poch is going to stay, he has to have a say. And if Poch is not going to stay, whatever manager they know is coming in must have a say. So we cannot just end up signing a striker that does not fit the profile of any manager we are getting into the club side. Or if it's Poch, he has to have a big say about the striker he wants to come into what he's doing. We cannot sign a striker just for the sake of the availability of Osimhen, and then we're looking away from Ivan Toney. So everything has to be factored in. Like the new manager, if Poch is going to be changed, as I said earlier, he has to have a say in who comes in as the striker. That's my take.
Jerry, what about you, Jerry Z?
Yeah, on Osimhen, right? So I'm so with me first, like personally, because of all these news rumors since like what last 4 to 6 months, Osimhen to Chelsea. So it has kind of prepared me mentally, to welcome him. Already talk to the Nigerian friends and always say that we are getting your boy, right? Every single day there is a talk on Osimhen. So in that regard, I'm like kind of well equipped, prepared, and looking forward to seeing Osimhen at Chelsea. With what brother Eddie said, again, everyone over here, great analysis and amazing, I would say, conversation, lot to learn and discuss. I do agree with what he said about Osimhen and what he saw. You can say some of the drawbacks of what he was doing, like dropping way too deep. I agree, but at the same time, not being criticizing or anything. To be clear, I also had this talk with one of his, in fact, a Nigerian friend who said, "Oh, he plays like this," and some other people. I'm just giving my perspective, right? And the way he played in AFCON, so how would he fit in with Chelsea? But the thing is, if you see again, like I haven't seen so much of Osimhen, I have seen the AFCONs, but that was a very different setup, right? Very defensive setup, very different dynamics. So I would look into that and see how he can do at Chelsea or at other clubs in Premier League. That will be different. So, and but at the same time, I do agree. But I think that most of the forwards now, most of them, right, games have changed that they have to do a lot of other things. So again, we have to look, but the point is correct that sometimes he do a lot. He's not a traditional number nine, but again, I would say, how many traditional number nine are there now anymore? I do like him a lot, but as Eddie said, I do agree that the problem of us not having a striker is so monumental that we have so many people to choose from. Just get any good striker, right? We don't have one. And as far as your question of him coming to Chelsea, it will depend on the player. Yes, Champions League and all of that would matter, but he would know that a club like Chelsea would be there, if not this season, the next season, right? It will depend on his ambition, because now times are changing, money is involved so much. Of course, Premier League is the biggest attraction, no doubt. London is the best city in England, right? And Chelsea is the best club in the world, at least to me. So, but if he wants to relax, with all due respect to the French league, in the league, you don't have to put in that much effort, right? You can relax. They spoil you, the PSG owners. Very unprofessional setup over there, right? So maybe if I were younger at his age, maybe I'll say, okay, just take the money and relax. Or you can really go and play in the Premier League, right? So I don't know. It depends on the player. PSG will probably pay him more, not because Chelsea cannot match, but Chelsea won't be able to match, because if Mbappe is going, they will have a huge amount to spend, right? So with finance, we will not be able to match PSG, in my opinion. It will depend if it is ambition. Again, Nigerians, there are so many fans in Nigeria of Chelsea, and although Drogba is not from Nigeria, but the African somehow connection can inspire him, because Chelsea in Nigeria has a good connection. So who knows? Who knows? But again, there are Arsenal. We have Liverpool. Who knows? Like, I don't know how he'll fit in, but Liverpool would be needing players. Man United. It's close, but if we have to feel with the talk that is going on, it's not data driven or rational, but the feeling suggests there is something with Osimhen and Chelsea.
Yeah, I agree with you. One thing for sure, PSG, if Chelsea offer, let's say 250K, PSG might offer 500. That's how they do. Remember, we were linked with Manuel Ugarte, and we were so close to getting him, but they offered more salary, and we end up going to PSG. So at the end of the day, it's up to the player whether you want to come to Chelsea or go to PSG. Simple as that. But also, is if the coach really wants him or the board wants him, they must fight now. They must try all means to persuade him to come to Chelsea, no matter where we finish at the league. So I'll come to you, Tesca G. What is your thoughts about the saga of Victor Osimhen linked to PSG?
Yes,
Tesca?
Victor.
Yes,
Osimhen. Yes. I heard you. Yes, Victor Osimhen. This guy is a Chelsea player for me, man. He's got Chelsea written all over it, and I think what's going on through in his mind is, where am I gonna have the most success, the most likelihood of success. And when you're presented with an option like PSG, you're thinking, number one, you're thinking the money is going to be so great. But at the same time, this guy, he's African. He knows what it means to play for Chelsea. He knows what Chelsea mean to the African people. I would think to seal the deal on Victor, we need to get Jose Mourinho in. Period. We need Jose Mourinho. He seems to love him, so much. He's spoken about him, saying that the fact that Jose Mourinho actually took time while in a game just to tell him how great he is will tell you that, he holds his opinion quite highly, he esteems his opinion quite highly. So I think we should get Mourinho for tactical reasons to get and hook this transfer. Mourinho come in, he'll bring a lot of stability in this club. He's a guy who can say no. He's a guy who can say, I want this and I want that. Victor Osimhen and Mourinho and some other Mourinho targets. Can we not win the league? Or can we not give Manchester City a run for its money? And mind you, Jurgen Klopp is going to be out of it next season. Would we get Jose Mourinho for Victor Osimhen if it means increasing our chances to get Victor Osimhen? Or would we get Xavi Alonso and maybe reduces our chances to get a top striker such as Osimhen? That's a question to you, the coolest Chelsea. What would you rather have, Mourinho and Osimhen, or would you rather have Xavi Alonso?
I think Jose Mourinho's ship at Chelsea is done, man. I think it's done at Chelsea. He done good things for us. First time and the second time. I don't want him for the third time because we have so many kids, and the way he deals with kids, he might upset so many of them. So I don't want him anymore, Chelsea. I loved him. I love him. But at the end of the day, we have to move on from Jose Mourinho. But guys, thank you for coming in. I need to wrap up right now. I have other things to do. Thank you, Jerry, Eddie, Teskaji, for making time. Also on the chat, Chelsea Forever, Dante, Chelsea Perspective. I really appreciate it, guys. Also, guys, if you're new, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Hopefully tomorrow we give Manchester City a tough game. I don't know whether we'll win this game or not, but let's just avoid heavy defeat. And let's go with a positive energy tomorrow. Avoid Taskaji's energy about us being trashed by Manchester City. I don't want that tomorrow. So, up the Charles. See you in the next stream. Hopefully Monday.
Thank you so much, everyone. Eddie, it was brilliant to share the platform. Really enjoyed it. I hope you guys all had a great time. And please share this with your family and friends. A great community. Whoever is doing a great job, please share it with your family and friends. Subscribe to the channel. And really, I enjoyed this session. Really enjoyed to listen to Eddie and Task, and it was magnificent. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Jerry. Thanks, Taska G, and thanks a lot, Tobago. Thanks for having us.
Up the chance, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Eddie.